Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the Sikh Tech Singh channel. My name is Manitpal Singh. This is a new channel that I am trying out where I can just focus on Sikh tech related topics. For this week, it's Connecticut Smogam 2023. We're currently driving home from the Akhand Path. Also, just want to do a quick shout out for my wife, Arlene Kaur, who is currently helping me record the vlog. So she will be helping me with the behind the scenes stuff. She's also become a very big help with the setup, helping me with all the cable management and stuff. So thank you, Arlene.
Expert, yeah.
All right, it is officially Thursday afternoon. We are about to go to the first program of the Smogam, first Kirtan program after the Akhand Path. And I wanted to show my trunk, the way I organize my tech gear. Basically, I have this backpack over here, which is full of cameras, the 810 mini switcher, basically my laptop, anything expensive. I keep my backpack always with me. And then I have this, it's called a gig bag. I got it off Amazon, and I'll show you later when I open it up, but it has a ton of cables, like all my XLR cables, all my chargers, all the power cables for the cameras, and I find it a lot more efficient having all of that separate. And yeah.
ਗੁਰ ਸਤ ਸਤ ਕਰ ਮਾਨੈ ਬਚਨ ਗੁਰ ਸਤ 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 ਕਰ ਮਾਨੈ ਸਤ ਸਤ ਕਰ ਮਾਨੈ ਸਤ ਸਤ ਆਗੇ ਕਾੜ ਤਰੀ ਜਾ ਸੰਤੋ ਸੁਣੋ ਸੁਣੋ.
All right, just finishing up the packing for Thursday night program. This was a bit of an interesting one. First time coming to this Gurdwara. We also arrived just a little bit late. Kirtan had already started. So setting up when the Kirtan's already going on is always a struggle. I always like to get here a little bit early if I can. But the problem here was the Wi-Fi was really not good. I was right next to the router, and the router is like a satellite dish, and there's no service here to begin with. I have to upload the recording afterwards, which is actually a good thing because the quality will be better. But just kind of, it's annoying when the live stream doesn't work and the internet's out of your control. So I'm happy with the setup though, but for right now, I'm going to pack up and get going.
2 hours later.
So we ended up coming the night before the morning program to set up. No one is here, which is really nice. This is my first time setting up the night before a program like this, so I am very grateful to have the entire Diwan Hall empty right now. It makes it a lot easier to set up all the cabling and everything, so looking forward to tomorrow morning. It's going to be the easiest program, is coming in and plugging in my laptop basically, and plugging in the cameras. So
What's the fan for?
Put a fan there for the Bablaji because people are always complaining about the temperature.
Nice. So, very important question. Do the cables and their colors have any meaning?
Every year is a little different. I don't have a strict system, but usually the main mic is red and tabla is blue or purple, whatever this is. And this year I'm using side as yellow. I'm sure there is a more professional way of doing that. I think red is supposed to be the first one, the right one. So I don't think I do it the way you're supposed to do it, but it works for me.
And so, how do you coordinate your colors for your kurta for Smogam? It's a very important question.
There is no system for that. I just pick one and wear it.
Do you choose to not coordinate with, your fellow Singh friends?
Usually we end up wearing the same color by mistake, but never on purpose.
What color are you going to wear tomorrow?
I have no idea. Probably a light blue of some kind. I like to wear lighter colors in the morning usually.
Oh, okay. Also, FYI, Guru Sahib Ji is in Sachkhand, so there's no...
Probably should have clarified that earlier.
Yeah. So how long is too long for a wire?
That's actually a great question. I invested this past year in long cables for XLR and HDMI for this exact reason, because before, if I had the mics over here, I would have to sit like right over here with all my setup, and that was just not ideal. So now I think these are 25 feet cables, and I am able to sit like completely off stage, so like behind the stage or off to the side behind the kirtan, where I'm not like intruding. I'm like much more like a discrete location where I'm not distracting anyone, and that has been a huge game changer in the past few months since I got the cables. HDMI cables too. You can't go too long with HDMI, but these are like 25 feet as well, and they work really well.
So, like, do you sit on the stage?
I do not sit on the stage. I usually sit behind the stage
okay.
or off to the side of the stage.
I'm just wondering,
No, that would be an interesting experiment.
Why are you putting them here, though?
So I can plug in tomorrow morning.
And sit on the stage?
I'm going to sit on the side over there.
Okay. This will be the spot tomorrow, most likely.
Okay, let me give you a little bit of a tour of the setup that I use. I don't have everything here, but most of the cabling is done, so that should be pretty helpful to see. These are the mics that you normally see in front of the vajja, tabla, and everything. What I usually do is I have the main mic on a separate mic. I like to have my own mic for this. It's a gooseneck mic. I find that it does a really good job capturing both the vajja, the kirtani, and also the sangat around them. And then what I do for the other mics is I actually split the XLR. So this is the tabla mic. I have a split going from the mic to the Gurdwara speakers, and then this other blue one is going to my recorder. And then I do the same thing for the side mic. So this is the yellow cable I was talking about earlier. And what these go to, I don't have it right now, but I just have all the cables going over here, up on the stage, and then this is kind of where my tech setup will be. And this is where they terminate over here. And I'm going to put a H6 Zoom recorder over here. I don't really record on it all the time. Mostly I just use it to adjust the levels. And if I want to record a multi-track, I can do that there. But I just have an output, 3.5 millimeter output from the H6 to the ATAM Mini, which will also be over here. That's why I have the HDMI cables coming over here as well. And then the ATAM Mini syncs up the video and the audio, and then I input that via USB-C into my laptop. Let me quickly show you where the HDMI cables are coming from. So I have this tripod over here, and then this other tripod over here, and I have a AC power adapter for the cameras plugged in, ready to go. And then I have the HDMI cable for the cameras as well. I use a GH5. I have two of them, GH5 Mark II, I think it is. So I have two angles that go to the ATAM Mini, one over here, and then I like having a side one. I'm gonna try this one out for tomorrow morning. I might change that later in the day for the other program. But those cables, like I said, are 25 feet. So they go with the XLRs to my setup down there. So it definitely looks a bit more complicated, but it really is simple. It's just a lot of long cables that take up space. And then power can be tricky. Luckily, the Gurdwara has good power here. So there's a power outlet already over here with the extension cord. And then there's already power over here as well for the cameras. So I don't have to run my own extension cables. So that's always a kind of a tricky thing sometimes. And then there's also already power here. This is my power brick, which I use for my laptop, the ATAM Mini. And then the H6 is also hardwired in. So I definitely try to find power wherever I can. Luckily, I didn't have to run any extension cables over here. And the Wi-Fi here is also very, very good, so I can broadcast in full HD. So yeah, so far so good. Let's see how it goes tomorrow morning and set everything up and test it out.
3 hours later.
ਨਾਨਕ ਮਸਤਕ मस्तक पाग नानक मस्तक पाग गुर अमृत पिन्नी देहोरी अमृत गुरते राम राजे अमृत छक छके
All right, so it's currently Friday evening, about 4 p.m. Morning program went really well. I am really happy with the fact that we set up the night before, and I had to move one camera just because the angle wasn't working out. So that was the only thing I had to change. Everything else worked out really well. And then tonight we're going back to the same Gurdwara, so everything is still there, which is really helpful. We're getting Starbucks right now, so gotta keep ourselves awake a little bit. And it's a bit frustrating, but I think it's going to be worth it. In terms of the logistics, we're going to have to take down everything tonight and then go to a different Gurdwara tomorrow morning for Ostivar program, and then come back to this Gurdwara again for Ransway at night. So a bit of back and forth. This will probably be the hardest part of the packing and traveling around.
So, what's your typical Starbucks drink?
By default, I usually get like a latte with a pump of caramel, but that's what I'm getting right now. But because it's the fall time, I do like my pumpkin spice once in a while. So, Harleen, what is your Starbucks order for the day?
I have a few. For the day.
You're wearing orange. You're not getting pumpkin spice?
No.
What are you getting?
I'm getting just a tall hot latte, vanilla, 1 pump.
Okay.
But, the matcha lattes are good. I'm excited about this program. There's a lot more Sangat coming tonight from outside, so
Me too.
it'll be good.
Yeah. Okay, just made it back to Gurdwara Sahib. I'm gonna start setting up again. Again, everything is already basically set up, so all I have to do is take out my cameras and laptop and everything. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Let's do it. So this is the H6 recorder that I use, and I want to mention a few things about this. This is a good audio recorder, but again, like I said before, I'm using it as just a mixer basically, and having the line out go into the ATEM Mini. And I don't really have too crazy of a setup here, but there are a few essential things. So the line out from this is going to the ATEM Mini, and then in the computer, I use the ATEM Mini control software to EQ it. So the Kartale, especially the Chane, I take those frequencies out as much as I can and make it sound good, so there's not like a lot of clipping from all the Chane and Kartale going around. And then also in OBS, I have a plugin for reverb, and that's very essential because without that, the audio sounds really flat. So between the EQ and the reverb, it sounds a lot more full and more like a full hall and like a very proper audio setup. But if you just do a direct connection from this without any effects, it can sound really flat. And I just learned that very recently, and it made a very big difference. Okay, so we had a bit of a scare. As I finished recording the last clip, the H6 just turned off, and it wouldn't turn back on. So that I'm realizing is my single point of failure in this setup. I've had this problem before with the H6. It just stopped working, won't turn on. Replaced the batteries, had to go through a whole bunch of things, but we got it back on and it's working now. So hopefully it stays on for the whole program. But moving forward, I think I'm gonna have to find a solution that does not involve just one single point of failure like this, because if that stopped working, I have no way to record my audio. So
The next day.
going on? Okay, yeah, so probably restarting.
So we're taking a little break from Samagam right now. Made our way to the Apple Store, picking up my iPhone 15 Pro, taking a little time to restore from the backup, but we're sacrificing some of our sleep time for this phone, so hopefully it's worth it. Arlene is very happy about that. I dragged her to the Apple Store with me. We did this. Arlene, how do you feel about being here at the Apple Store with me right now?
It's really bright.
When you could when you could be sleeping in a room right now in a bed.
It's dark.
अमृत रस हर कीर्तना